France and Germany will support Ukraine for, quote, as long as necessary, against Russia's unwavering aggression in Ukraine. This promise was made on Sunday by both the French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, as their meeting coincided with the 60th anniversary of the Elysee Treaty. Macron says if everything were easy, we wouldn't have the reasons to celebrate this partnership, and it wouldn't have reinvented itself constantly. This agreement is great when it manages to shake its destiny, revisit the priorities on both banks of the Rhine, and the even greater path. Both countries are seeking to overcome differences laid bare by Russia's war in Ukraine. Scholz said that the European peace project was at a turning point, and that strong Franco-German relations were more important than ever.
In the eastern Donetsk region, these soldiers are being threatened by Russian tanks. To push them back, they're going to need their own advanced tanks, but Ukraine's allies are divided over whether to supply them. More shells and more cannons are needed. We have enough handguns and grenade launchers, but we lack ammunition. Of course, something heavier like tanks would be good. And inside Germany's coalition government, the Greens are unhappy with Chancellor Scholz's decision not to hand Leopard tanks over. Our partners have made it clear that they're now ready to deliver battle tanks. Germany shouldn't stand alone but should join in this alliance. After several months of an almost frozen conflict in the Zaporizhia region, fighting this week intensified. To show that it's in charge of much of the region, Moscow sent the notorious arms dealer Victor Bout there.
Tens of thousands of Israelis gathered in Tel Aviv on Saturday for the third consecutive weekend of protests against the government's plans to overhaul the judicial system. Critics of the ruling coalition and the former Premier Yair Lapid say the move could help Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu evade conviction in his ongoing corruption trial. What you can see here today is a demonstration in support of the country, said Yair Lapid. People who love Israel have come here today to defend its democracy, to defend its courts, to defend the idea of coexistence and of common good. The people here who love Israel, who came to demonstrate for a democratic Jewish state according to the values of the Declaration of Independence, will not give up until we win. But the government says a power imbalance has given judges too much sway over lawmaking and governance. Netanyahu has pledged to press on with the changes despite the opposition. New Zealand's ruling Labour Party has formally endorsed sole candidate Chris Hipkins as the country's new Prime Minister. Hipkins told reporters in Wellington on Sunday that outgoing Premier Jacinda Ardern has been one of the nation's great leaders and promised his government would help New Zealanders get through this tough economic time. The move follows Ardern's surprise announcement on Thursday that she was resigning no later than February 7th. Hipkins will be sworn in as the 41st Prime Minister of New Zealand on Wednesday, with Carmel Sepuloni as his deputy.
Southwest Germany has been blanketed by 20 metres of snow, causing traffic chaos and a number of accidents. In the state of Saarland, roads were particularly affected and some cars skidded into crash barriers. Trucks had trouble getting up the smallest slopes, and when some of them became stuck, the traffic behind them came to a halt too. Many drivers were simply overwhelmed by the conditions, and the police reported over 100 accidents. In Croatia, it was a similar story. Some roads had to be closed, including part of the main Rijeka-Zagreb highway. There were also storm-force winds in parts, and both ferry and catamaran services had to be cancelled. In Dubrovnik, snowplows were at work clearing the roads, but fortunately no major accidents were reported. The snow has also raised water levels in some rivers, and dozens of houses were cut off in Sisak, Moslavina County on Saturday.